I'm Charlie and this is Finsformation. Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a bit of a mashup of the last two tournaments that I was in at Mason Lake and Big Lake for Washington Tiny Boat Nation. And I'm going to talk about the culmination of the 2024 season and my first season of competitive bass fishing. So I'll just come right out and say that I'm not really a competitive person. I never have been. But I do enjoy a bit of a challenge, and I enjoy the feeling you get when you come out on top of something when, competing against others. This season I only placed top 3 one time, and that was at American Lake where I got 3rd place. I actually would have ended up in 2nd place had it not been for a blunder with the recording of the weights, and I'll mention this later in this video. Placing 3rd in the 2nd derby that I ever fished in my life was just an awesome feeling. It's a small cash prize, but I'm not in it for that. I'm in it for a lot of other reasons, and just to list a few: meeting a great group of new people who have similar interests, learning new techniques, sharing knowledge, fishing new lakes, and just being out there having fun. That brings me to the point I have decided that I'm going to be competing with this club again next year, so I'm super excited to see which lakes we're going to be fishing and how the season's going to turn out. I owe a huge thanks to Ostin, the club president. I've been fishing with him for a couple of years now, and he decided this year to step up as the president of Washington Tiny Boat Nation, and he just did a freaking fantastic job with it. He fostered a super chill, laid back, but still competitive environment that made it super easy to join up for my first season of competitive fishing. Check him out on Instagram at Sensei Smalley, and then he has a company called Sensei Swim Baits. Go check them out. They're awesome baits. I was definitely a little nervous the first couple tournaments this year, just to make sure things ran smoothly, launching at a new lake with a bunch of people, getting up super early in the morning, getting your number, checking scales, signing in and whatnot. But I do have to say, by the end of the season, it was running like clockwork, and it was a lot easier than the first couple ones. So now I'm looking forward to next season, now that I know how that all operates. I mentioned earlier in the video about a mishap with the weighing process, so I had a couple takeaways this year with tournament fishing that I really learned from. Our club does a video weigh process where you have the whole fish in the frame of a video, the scale zeroed out, and then weighing the fish in the video so you can catch and release. Well, I had accidentally let the fish go and realized that I hadn't pressed record on my phone. So the takeaway from that was to always make sure to keep the fish in the net, at least until I verified that I had the video. These are just growing pains that come with tournament fishing. You make these mistakes hopefully just once, and you learn from them. Another mistake I made was pre-fishing and expecting to stick to the plan that I had made during the pre-fishing. When the actual tournament is a week later, a lot can change in a week. It's weather dependent, the pattern that the fish is in, what they're deciding to feed on that day, it can all change within a week. So I kind of learned that pre-fishing is, especially with fishing with a club like this, it's more about scoping the lake out and finding some spots and less about the actual technique. Although I did say I'm not very competitive, I could see how it could get pretty intense and addicting if you do end up placing top 3 in the majority of the tournaments, because then you're in contention for Angler of the Year. I feel like personally, if I was getting close to that position, I would start getting more competitive, definitely. But kind of hanging around the middle of the pack the majority of the year like I did, it was just more about learning and having fun while bass fishing, because I love fishing regardless, competitive or not. Adding the competition to it, in my eyes, is just a bonus. I can definitely see how somebody would not enjoy competitive bass fishing. There's a lot that goes into it, especially, the people that you're fishing against, and if you're fishing for more money, it's going to be more intense. That's just the nature of the sport. The club that I'm fishing with, we're not trying to cut a huge paycheck, and most of the guys are just in it for the fun of it. There is also the added sense of loss when you lose a fish that could have put you in 1st or 2nd or 3rd place. I lost my fair share of fish this year, and it sucks just as much as it does normally when you lose a fish. However, I did feel that extra sense of loss when I lost the fish during the tournament. Some people, they might not be able to deal with that, and if that's the type of person you are, you might want to think twice about joining a fishing club. Another topic related to tournament fishing that I want to touch on is having a co-angler. Now, this whole last season, I fished solo and I absolutely loved it. However, it did put me at a disadvantage compared to everyone else because the majority of them had a co-angler on their boat. Having somebody fishing on your boat with you during a tournament, it opens up a lot of possibilities. Like you can have one person fishing topwater, the other person fishing a jig on the bottom. You can have one person fishing black and blue, the other person fishing a green pumpkin. It's all ties into finding what the fish are doing that particular day and then locking in a pattern. When you're doing this by yourself, it puts you at a disadvantage because you have to go through all those baits and all those techniques and spots on your own using your own brain. That's the part of it that I really enjoyed, is figuring this all out on my own. You know, I'm a pretty independent person when it comes to fishing anyways. I enjoy fishing with other people, but for the most part, I am usually out there by myself. Next season, I do plan on having a co-angler. I just want to try a whole season with a co-angler and see how it works. I'm hoping my father-in-law will join me on that. He's also an avid bass fisherman and has been for many years, so it would be great to have him on the boat with me. If he can't make it to a specific tournament, then I have some other local guys that I've been fishing with that might be willing to jump on the boat with me. I'll reach out to some of you next year as the opportunities come up, if that's something that you would like to do. Which brings up another point. I was able to make it to every event this year. Some people aren't as lucky. They have work, they have something that comes up, what have you. When you have a co-angler, if you aren't able to make it to an event, you could be letting that person down if they're in the standings for Angler of the Year as well. So it's just something to think about, you know, having a co-angler. I don't want to let the other person down if I miss an event or if I screw up a net job or I take us to a spot that isn't productive. It's just something to keep in mind. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for my commentary. I really enjoyed this season of competitive fishing, and I'm looking forward to next year. It was just a blast. I learned a ton, fished a bunch of new lakes. So enjoy the rest of the video, the rest of these catches, and then towards the end of the video, I'll put in the end of the year standings and where I came in the group. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Please let me know if you guys enjoyed the tournament videos this last season, so I might end up doing them again next season. I don't know if I'm going to plan on filming every single one. I didn't do it this year. It is kind of a lot of work, and it's just another thing to focus on while on the boat. So let me know if you enjoyed the videos. If you do, I'll keep making them. Look forward to more technique videos going into fall and winter now that the tournament season's over. I'm going to be focusing more on new fishing techniques, at least new to me, and doing a possible walkthrough of my kayak towards the winter. If that's something you guys want to see, also let me know in the comments. Again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hope you all have a great day.